Hello, everyone. Welcome into the View House Centennial for a fantastic Xfinity Monday Live. We've got Colorado native, Rapids homegrown player, and star of your Colorado Rapids, Cole Bassett, in the house. Kind enough to join us after a huge win yesterday. Cole, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be out here with you guys. It's a great atmosphere here, so yeah, really excited to be here.
Well, we're so excited to have you, and we got to start with that game yesterday. I mean, you are in the midst of a spectacular season. You've already set a new season high for single season with goals. You're right up there with assists. What has contributed, do you think, to your success this season?
A lot of it's been the coach. I think Chris Armas has done a tremendous job of getting the whole team to buy in early on in the season, and the style that he's implemented into our team has been a huge reason why not just me, but a lot of guys on the team have had success. I think he loves for us to play forward and not be safe and take risks, and I think you see a lot of us playing free out there, and that's leading to us playing our best football. So we've had a lot of goals this year, and I think that's been fun for the fans to watch as well.
Yeah, it feels like Coach came in and he just brought in this culture, this spirit right away. How long did it take for you guys to buy into his vision and everything that he saw for you guys?
I think it was pretty early on. Just the energy that he brought, sometimes it's contagious. You know, from the first day of preseason, he said, we're not going to be the team that you guys were last year. We're going to be different. And he implemented it on day one. And then I think, you know, for something to work like that, it does take wins to get it going. And I think the win away versus Salt Lake, the third game of the season, really kickstarted our season, because I think that's when the group really starts to believe, like, hey, this is something that actually works and we can trust and we can do it week in, week out. So that was a big result for us, and I think it's just continued throughout the year.
It's been so much fun, and of course the fans are just loving what we're calling the Rapids resurgence. But we know last year was a tough season. I know we want to leave that in the past, but how much of that was a motivating force for this year, if at all?
Oh, it was huge for me. I think for me, especially staying healthy this year was important. Last year I missed 2.5 months early on in the season, and not too many people knew that. And they said, you know, you had an off year and stuff like that. And, you know, for me, I think one of the biggest things is being healthy and being available. That's one of the best traits you can have as an athlete, is being available. So for me this year, going into this year, I wanted to get the Rapids back where they belong. And then I think we've brought a lot of new faces that I think have helped in a sense of just freshness. They didn't know what it was like last year, and they know what it takes to win. So they've brought that winning culture along here with us.
Well, you talk about your availability. Best ability is availability. Sometimes they say you just logged recently your 106th start. That's the most in the franchise for a homegrown player. For a player, what does a record like that mean to you?
I didn't honestly know that I hit that mark yet, but it does mean a lot. I think as a kid that grows up here and used to go to games as a younger kid, it's special to me to be on that stage in front of my community. I think I've seen a lot more kids start to trend to go to these games now, and you know, you just see an uptick in soccer in recent years here. So if you can be one of the guys on the field that inspires the next generation, and you never know who you touch when you're playing on the field, but you know, if you have a young kid that can now be the next me in a few years to come and do even better than I'm doing, I think that would be special, and I think that's where we want to go. We want the game to grow, so it is really special to be able to play for this club.
I mean, such a good player and such a good leader on and off the field, Cole. But when we talk about homegrown players, you hold just about every record. You know, goals, assists, minutes, games, and just about everything. Is that important to you? Does that matter to you?
I wouldn't say the records matter to me. I think season by season I do have goals that I set out for myself in terms of goals and assists that I want to score every single year. I just love scoring goals. I think that's the most fun part of the game, and I think that's what the fans are there to see. You know, they want to see you win, they want to see you score goals, and they want entertainment. And I think for me, it's not as fun to have a 0-0 game, a 1-0 game. I'd rather have a 5-4 game where I'm scoring a hat trick or something like that. So I've always pushed myself to be better in the attacking side of the field, and you know, I think that's led to some of those stats that you just mentioned.
You know, you could have had 2 goals last night, but you made the unselfish play as well. So it's, you know, you're not just a goal scorer, right? You're an unselfish player too.
Yeah, I mean, you got to set up your teammates. I mean, if you set them up, maybe they'll give you one back, and that's kind of what happened last night. I gave one to Kev, and then Kev, he played it right back to me, so I think it works out in that way.
I love it. What a good time. Well, we got so much more coming up here with Cole Bassett on Xfinity Monday Live. Well, welcome back into Xfinity Monday Live here at the View House Centennial. Such a treat tonight. We got Cole Bassett in the house, superstar of your Colorado Rapids. And Cole, I want to talk about a little bit of a tough subject. We found out you were left off the Olympic roster. You're an Olympian to us. We feel like you should have been on there, but I'm not the coach. Nobody asks me my opinion. But I'm sure it's a lot of emotions. How are you dealing with that right now?
Yeah, it's been tough. I think it was a tough pill to swallow because, one, my family's not here right now, so I didn't really have anybody with me when I found out the news. But at the same time, when you've had a season like I've had, I thought I should have been on it. Excuse me. But I think it's one of those lessons that you learn in your life, and you learn how to deal with it. And I sat down and talked to my friend the other day, and he said, "Be better, not bitter." That was a quote that he used with me, and I said this last night. And I don't think I can sit here and really be mad at what happened. I think I can channel it in a better way and go out and perform these next couple games and help our team here. I think God puts you in places for a reason, so I think maybe I'm meant to be here right now, even though I'd love to be an Olympian. But maybe it's my time to be here right now.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with us, too. Such a great example for so many kids, even though I know that's not your job, but really shows kids that you can get through a lot of adversity. And speaking of just adversity and going through a lot as a young kid, you've already done so much in your career. You've played internationally. So I want to talk about your 2 loan stints. What did that do for you as a player and help you develop as a player?
Yeah, it was huge. I think I grew up as a man. I think that was the biggest part of it. I left at 20 years old, just turned 20, and moved halfway across the world. And, for me, having to be able to grow up in a different country, I think was a little different. Most people get to do it in their own country or at college with friends, and I had to do it alone. And it's a different style over there. They care a lot more. It's more of a business, and it's a lot more ruthless. So I think learning that on the way helped me tremendously, and I think it showed since I've came back. I'm a more mature player. I'm a more mature leader as well. I feel like even though I'm 22, I'm one of the main leaders in the group here, and I think that's translating to our success on the field.
I feel like there's probably so many differences, but what is the biggest difference that you see between soccer played in Europe and soccer played here in the States? Football.
Yeah, over there it's just the passion that the fans have. It's not like we don't have passionate fans here, but you're the only team, the sports team in that city, whereas here we have 5 different teams that people can support, but everybody just cares about one thing over there, and I think it's their life over there. There's nothing else that's really important to them, and they live, breathe, and die football. So it was definitely a learning curve, but I loved it because that's what I love as well. So I think that's probably the major difference.
That's awesome. Is that something you'd like to do again?
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to test myself and just prove to myself that I'm good enough to stay over there and be a starter and be a consistent player in the top league over there. I think England is probably where I want to go the most, but I'm definitely open to more opportunities. But, at the moment right now, we've got a good thing going in Colorado. I want to be here right now. I love Chris Armas, and I think he's going to help me a lot while I'm here.
Well, I'm sure we will see you a lot more in Europe. But right now, we're so happy to have you leading the Rapids and leading this charge of this incredible season. It's such a thrill tonight to have you on the show with us. We got a lot more coming up, but right now we got to take a little break. And we're here with Cole Bassett, and we got a lot of fan questions. It's time now for the People Want to Know. People Want to Know brought to you by Common Spirit, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos and champions for the communities we serve. Sarah wants to know, what is it like to play for your home state pro team?
It's special. I think you get to play in front of friends and family that if you lived anywhere else in the country or in the world, you wouldn't get that opportunity. And I think you get to inspire young kids here that feel connected. They feel like they can become you one day. So I think it's pretty special to be here.
All right, Terry wants to know, you obviously got a brother who's doing his own thing over at DU. What would that mean to you if you guys got to play pro together one day?
Oh, that would be unbelievable. I think that would mean the world to me. There's not many brothers in sport that can become professional athletes, especially on the same team. So, he's pretty close. I would say watch out for him in the next year. I think we'll know by December or January whether he'll be signed with us or not. I got to give a little nudge to our GM to, hey, you got to sign him. But, yeah, I think he's pretty close to being with us pretty soon.
I love it. We can't wait for that. Now we're really hoping for it. Tommy wants to know, you got any pregame superstitions?
I do. I feel like it's just little stuff. I always like to get a coffee before the game.
Okay.
Go down. I have a spot that's near my building, Hello Darling, that I like to go to. Besides that, it's normally just left foot, then right foot, I would say, with my sock, left sock, right sock, left shoe, right shoe. That's kind of just the main things I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you put your right shoe on, it's just like messed.
Yeah,
it's over.
Yeah, you got to tie the left one first, too, before you put the right one on. There's little stuff as well, like I always need a Red Bull, I always need gum, but I feel like that's just little stuff
yeah. You're just a little stitious.
Yeah, a little bit. I think most athletes are.
Yeah, little stitious is good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
That was the People Want to Know, brought to you by Common Spirit. We got to take another quick break, but up next we're going to talk a little bit about playing against, that guy in Florida. I don't know. I think people have heard of him. What's that like? Coming up next here on Xfinity Monday Live. Man, what a great show this has been. We got Cole Bassett in the house here, Rapids superstar. And Cole, I got to ask you about, obviously, he played against Lionel Messi earlier this year. What's that been like?
It was special. It's one of those things that you watch as a young kid. You watch him growing up. You idolize him. I think everybody in the world knew who he was and knows that he's, for me, the best player of all time. And then, next thing you know, you're stepping on the field with him, and you're both scoring goals in the same game. It was a crazy experience, and one I'll never forget.
That's absolutely incredible. I love this picture that you actually posted. We snagged that
Yeah.
from your Insta, but 2 superstars right there. What do you think he can do for the MLS?
It's been huge for us. I think we just have so many more eyes on us. Obviously, he can do stuff with the rules, with salary cap and stuff like that, add a little bit more money into the game. But I think just the growth of the league in terms of the number of eyes that are on us and the number of players that want to come here as well. You're seeing a lot more quality of players come here because they want to test themselves against the best in the world. And he is the best in the world still at his age. So I think it's just been massive for us, especially as young kids that are in this country, to see this league continue to grow, and hopefully by the World Cup it's going to be even bigger.
We love it so much, and of course we're all big Rapids fans here, and I'm like looking, I'm like, what do we got here?
I got a special gift for you. I was going to interrupt before you said this, but we got a special Rapids jersey
Look
for
at
you.
this.
Our away kit, the mental health kit, New Day kit, inspired by Pat Milbury, this artist that was here. But yeah, pretty special. We love wearing it. We don't get to wear it much at home, but we did get last month a couple times, and it was pretty special to wear that one.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Look, you're my new favorite guest. No one's ever brought me swag before. Officially, my favorite guest of the show. Hello, everyone. Thanks for logging on to CBSColorado.com. Time now for a few extra minutes with a superstar of your Colorado Rapids, Cole Bassett, who was kind enough to bring me some swag. So now we are decked out. And what a good season for me to have this on. I got to get to a game because, man, you guys are just crushing it this season.
Yeah.
What do you think are the biggest reasons why you've had such an incredible turnaround?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, I think it's Chris Armas is a big piece, and then we've had a couple key additions. Georgi Mihailovic, Sammy Vines coming back, and Zach Steffen in goal, I think has been huge. His leadership, and then the quality that the other two have on the ball, I think has helped us tremendously. But we just have a group that's bought in. We have a culture that we set and a standard that we set within each other, and we all just we get along really well, and I think it's showing on the field.
Cole, you're still really young, but you're kind of wise beyond your years. What's it like to be kind of your age, but still such a huge leader of this team and really kind of one of the senior leaders?
Yeah, I love it on the field. It is a little bit weird off the field being a 22-year-old and feeling like an older soul and, not being the same as some of the kids that are my age throughout the rest of the world. But I think for me, I love being a leader on this team. I love having standards set on myself and expectations. I think that's the best part is when you can live up to those expectations. So for me, it's special, especially in front of my hometown, to be a leader here and hopefully lead this into a championship or some sort of trophy, I think would mean the world to me.
So before the show started, you were saying you guys are about to go into it like a little bit of a tough stretch. What are you hoping to learn about this team and prove in this next stretch of games?
Yeah, we want to prove we can win against the best, and I think that's what's key coming up. We got New York at home this weekend, LA Galaxy, who's just above us, away on Wednesday, and then Salt Lake, the big one, our rival, at home for the Rocky Mountain Cup, Saturday the 20th. So 3 big games for us. If we manage to beat 2 of those teams that are right above us, you never know. We can leapfrog into first, second, or third. And I think for us, like I said earlier, we want to beat the best. And once it comes playoff time, if you want to win the Western Championship, you got to beat the best. So I think these are good tests for us.
Well, Cole, you're having a monster season. It's so much fun to watch you. But one really interesting fact is that you've logged the most miles of any player in the MLS. What contributes, do you think, to that?
Yeah, maybe the state, the high altitude, I don't know. I think just training here since a young kid, I've always been fit. I got to give a special shout out to both of my parents. I mean, they were both athletes.
Okay.
Didn't play soccer that much, but my dad was a track athlete at Cal in college, and then my mom was a field hockey player as well. So I think I got the good genes from them, and then it's just paid off. And I think, living here for a while has made me be able to run this much.
So how do you stay in game shape or get in game shape in the offseason? You always say you can't replicate game speed, game play.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest here. I don't do any fitness in the offseason,
Okay,
which is the craziest thing. Like, I have a trainer here. I work with Matt Shaw at DU, and he's probably not going to be happy I say this, but he gives me fitness, and I don't do any of it. For me, I've always been on the skinnier side, so I love to work on the strength side and the speed, especially in the offseason, where I can get quicker and faster and come back into the season looking sharp. I don't feel like I need to work on my fitness as much, so I don't tend to. And I'm lucky enough that I can stay fit and not do that.
You've already done so much in your career, and your career's still so young, but what are you most proud of what you've accomplished so far?
I think making my debut for the senior national team and scoring on that debut was a really proud moment for me. Moving to Europe was as well, but I think I still have unfinished business there. So I think for me, playing for your national team, it's just a different feeling when you represent your country because you're representing so much more than yourself. So I think that was a really special moment for me.
Well, that is absolutely incredible. And it's been such a treat tonight to have you on the show, Cole. Thank you so much. Best of luck the rest of the season. We can't wait to see everything you do.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Guys, thanks for joining us. We will see you next time.